Okay, so on behalf of the African and African Descendants Friendship Club of St. Albert, I want to welcome every one of you to today's Alberta Culture Days event. So every September, we celebrate Alberta Culture Days here in St. Albert, and we usually have lots of events. So the idea is to get people to interact with other people's culture and to learn a little bit about it. You will agree with me that when you know about someone else's culture, you will kind of understand them more and embrace them. So I want to thank all of you for connecting today to today's Alberta Culture Days event. And it is in partnership with the St. Albert Cultivates the Arts Society. And so we tell you to welcome and enjoy and get ready to learn. And before we go ahead, I want us to know a little bit about where people are connecting from. So can you just type in the chat box to let us know where you're connecting from? Thank you. So where are you connecting from? So can you type in? Let's know where we are hosting from. Okay, Kosi. Oh, Kosia from St. Albert also. Natasha from St. Albert. Hello. Oh, somebody's connecting from Germany. Awesome. Elk Island Park. Awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to be going live on Facebook to get people to connect. Hi, ID. Thanks for connecting. Who else? Somebody from Germany. Yeah, St. Albert. Who else? I know there are other people. There are other people on the line. Just give me 1 second. Who else? Let's know where else you're connecting from. Okay, awesome. So let's see. So as we are continuing now, I want to ask how many of us will be following us and making it along as we're going. Can I see either your hands up if you're going to be preparing with us as we are making it? Let's know how many people. Okay, I've seen Kwabena. Awesome, Natasha. Oh, Natasha is always cooking. I love the way you're always practicing and making the food. That's really, really impressive. I love it. Who else is going to be making it along with us? Diane Jackson, are you going to be making or you're just going to be watching? Haley, Sonia. Okay, Sonia already. ready. Okay, Sonia, you gonna be coming along, making. Can we type in okay, watch. Awesome. It's also, you're allowed to watch. Yes, for sure. You're allowed to watch and learn how it's gonna be done. And who else has okay, Natasha has her plantains. So I want to know who else has plantains. Who has plantains? Diane is watching. I know Ida is watching too. Kwabena, are you going to be making it? Do you have your plantains ready? This is a very, very, I think looking at the recipe, I think, okay, Sonia says, no, I know how to eat, but not how to make it. I'm missing some spices. I hope it doesn't affect the taste. No, I don't think, because that was a lot of spices. Looking at it, it was a lot of spices when I saw, and I spoke with Sandra. Sandra said that she has a way of using the spices. Some of them are really, really could be very strong. So a little will go a long way. And if you don't have all, it's also okay. You understand? So yeah, grains of Salim. You know, when the husband is coming, he's the one that we're going to be having a man this time. Take us through the process of making plantains. So if I want to ask, where do you get your plantains from? Like if you live in St. Albert, yesterday I went to Walmart, I went to Superstore, and the plantains I found, they were not really ripe. And even if you keep it, they're not going to get ripened enough. So, okay, so Natasha, you got from Superstore. Yes, by the time I got there, I couldn't get the kind of plantains that I wanted. Funny enough, somebody had posted that they got plantains from Superstore at Clearview. And I drove because I love those Clearview plantains. They were all ripe and looking very, very beautiful, if you want me to say. And by the time I got there, it was cleared. You wouldn't believe it. That is like, I was now going from no frills to another no frills. And so I got very ripe plantains at no frills McConaughey in Edmonton. So that's where I got so give me 1 second here. I'm going to pause, and that's where someone just came through. Yeah, I'm sure he's the one. So I just got the very good plantains from No Frills, and I'm going to be showing you some of the plantains here. And I'm going at this time, so it's good I have our host. Yes, this is the main host here. Awesome. So I'm going to turn the mic to him. That he is the one. So it's from the just give me 1 second. Let me move this to him, and I'm going to welcome Emmanuel. Emmanuel, what's your Ghanaian name? You know, there's one thing about Ghanaians. Eh? Kwabena. Awesome. So here I'm going to be turning the mic so you can. Yes, thank you so much. So I'm going to be turning the mic now to Kwabena. You are now live.
Oh, okay.
And people are watching you.
Oh my God.
And I'm so thank you so much for coming to do this. I know your wife isn't feeling well.
Yeah, so last minute kind of.
Yeah, so yes, it's okay. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes,
You're
for
welcome.
coming. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about Ghana.
That's a good thing. So first and foremost, I apologize for coming late. It was a short minute of time, so I had to really do stuff around to come and help. My name is Emmanuel. My traditional name, or name known in Ghana for calling, is Kwabena, born on Tuesday. I think it's a little bit, yeah, because I'm a little bit tall, kind of. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. And yes, and so I said I was born on Tuesday, known as Kwabena, and I'm married to a lovely lady, Sandra. and we do things together. So if one hand doesn't go, the other one helps. So that is why today I am here. So I apologize for coming late once again. So today, basically, we're just going to do kalawole, and I'm sure she had explained much about what kalawole is. It's known in various religions as the various names, but technically it is just ripe plantain and spicing it up and then frying it in oil and to your taste. You can do so many of them, different kinds of taste, different kinds of recipes you can do just to your taste. So as you go to restaurants and buy potato chips, you can have that of ketchup, you can have or sweet onion, you can have hot spice chips. So those are the things that are. So ingredient wise, we need obviously our ripe plantain. And as you can see, the plantain is ripe. I would say you don't really need these kinds of ones when it's turning this color. You can use it depending on how you want it, but mostly when it turns like this, by the time you finish, everything is mushy and it's difficult to actually get a very good plantain. So usually something of this sort is much better. Yellow, and you can hold it, and then if you press on it, it is a bit soft, and that is the one you need. And then some spices. I'll grab my spice bucket here. So these are cardamom parts. So it's a different recipe known in Ghana by different names. And then you have original black pepper. And then we have red chili pepper. And this is just grounded cardamom parts that you can use. This is nutmeg. I'm not sure how they call it in other, but I believe that should be nutmeg.
I think this particular, yes, this is the real nutmeg.
This is the real nutmeg. This is the original one. I like this because it adds taste and flavor because it is original. Usually when you get the other ones that are already blend or grinded into powder in the market, it doesn't have that taste or flavor as you want to. This, I believe you have a name they call them.
This is cloves.
This is cloves, yes. Yeah. This is cloves. Yeah. It's a different name in Ghana, actually.
What do you guys call
oh, that's a good question. I just forgotten my word right now. I'll tell you when it comes into mind. Yeah. So those are the things you need. Like I said, you can get different flavors as the way you want it and as to your taste. And basically it's just to your taste. And that is all it is. And somebody would ask, so what measurements do you use in spicing them? I would say depending on how many kalawole you're doing. Besides, so if I have, let's say, a bowl of this, of course, I'm going to add a little bit of spices to it to make to that amount. So basically, that is all I would say. I don't really think that it will be of any measurement that you would need to really make. Some would want to add measurements to it. I would say that's okay. You would say 1 teaspoon of the red chili, depending on how you want it. So if you want more of the hot spice, then of course, I'm gonna say you're gonna have half a tablespoon. But then if you don't want it that way, then I would say you have to do it as to your taste, okay? At this point, I'm not sure if anybody has a question somewhere before we chip along. Yeah, if they can type in and then you can read it and then we can answer it before we go ahead.
Somebody saying this cloth is the same as Wentia, grain of sardine.
Wentia, that's Wentia. That's thank you for the name. Yes, Wentia. Yeah.
Okay. So cloves is
yes, it's Wentia. Yes.
Okay. Oh,
I think she had already had the answer because I'm speaking live.
Yes, yes. Yes, Akosua says, hey, Manuel, yeah, yes, cloves is, so is cloves, yes, cloves is Wentia.
Wentia, yes, it's called Wentia.
That's Ghanaian.
That's a Ghanaian. And then we have Suruwisa, but I'm not sure if, let me spell.
What do you call this? What do they call that?
Yeah, I think this is Suruwisa.
Suruwisa,
Yeah.
is the same as
Cadman pots.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to break one and see what is inside.
Okay. So
yes, it is. It is.
So
yeah.
So what you call cardamom what?
Cadman Suruwisa.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you can type it, but I believe they've heard me right as I speak. The ones that know them don't know them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So what? Let me just try. SESU.
So SUWISA. This Suruwisa. Yeah. This is so fresh. Wow.
So okay, yeah. So cardamom is Suruwisa. So awesome. So that means at this time we will now go straight into.
We will go right into chopping our plantain so that everybody would know how we cut them, and so we will start from there. Okay. All right.
So you should ask how many people have.
So yeah. So how many people have their ripe plantain? I don't see anybody.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't see anybody.
Natasha had said she has what they call she has plantain. So it's Natasha that's following. Some other person is following.
Okay, just wait a minute. We're just trying to make the computer available so I can see who is on there and who is not there so that we can move along.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna help you here. Okay. There you go. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with plantain. This is my red plantain. I'm gonna use it. So first, you just chop off the end. I usually like to chop off the tail at this point, and then you just hold it and then cut it into two slices into two. You can just go off like that, and then you got two of your plantains. Okay. And then what you do next is you just use your tip of your knife, just make in the middle. Just cut the middle, just go in the stem, in the plantain, just half it into two. And then all you need to do is just slice it into bits. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the chopping board so that I can show you specifically. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see what I was doing, I can actually open them and show you how I've sliced them. So as you can see, it's just something like this. And then when you peel it in the bowl, you're gonna have some small pieces. And like I said, it depends on how you want it to look like. Some people would want it very, very thin sliced, or the way it's just to your taste. And as you can see, this is how it's going to be. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do the next one. So we have one already done. Not sure I'm going to do the other one because it's just the same. So depending on the quantity you want, you can do the same. So now it's time for us to add our ingredients. So first and foremost, salt. My basket, we should have salt, but it doesn't. Okay. So we have our salt here. So just salt to taste depending on how you want it. I am the kind, I don't really like salt that much. So just a few. And then that's it. And then you can add your pepper. Depending on which kind of pepper you want, you can add the chili pepper to your taste. And if you want it that spicy, you can add more. And then we have our suru wisa. Add a few. And
which one was that? Sorry.
This was the cinnamon, the cardamom pod.
Thank you.
All right, this was the cardamom pod. And then, like I said, if you want it very hot, you can also add some chili pepper to it. That also works. And then a little bit of the nutmeg. Yeah, a little bit of the nutmeg. So I'm just going to grate the fresh nutmeg on it. Okay, thank you. Not too much, depending on the quantity you want to, depending on how many color willy you're making, because if you add too much of the nutmeg, then it's gonna over flavor it. You know, the nutmeg is very very flavory. So if you use the fresh ones, just make sure not to add too much of it. Okay, and then that's the suruwisa. Yeah. So with the cloth, I've already made some spicy thing. This is a mixture of a little bit of chili pepper, a little bit of everything. So this is what we usually use at home when we make barbecue and we want it to look, taste a little bit like home. So these are the one we add. So I have a little bit of this in there. So I'm just gonna add a few of it to it because I don't have the machine to grate the cloves, okay? Just a little bit. Great. And then from there, you just mix it together.
So do I just skip that step? Just don't do that one because I don't have that?
Yes, if you don't have, don't worry about it. Like I said, most of the spices we use, and if you heard me from the beginning, you just do it to your taste. Some people can even add, what spice am I talking about? The curry, yes, depending on how they want it. And that works to your taste, yeah. So whichever flavor you spice that you are most familiar with, you can use it to make it, and it is good. So usually with this, we usually do it, if I would do it the next day, I do it overnight and leave it so that I will have the flavor and everything sim into it very nicely. And then the next day I'll fry it.
Okay, so if you're leaving it for the next day, do you put it in the fridge?
Yes,
or?
you leave it in the fridge, of course.
Oh. Yeah,
you leave it in the fridge.
Does anybody have a question at this time?
So we'll leave it at this time if anybody has a question, and then we'll continue.
So that mix in the bunch is what you use to prepare killing willy. Somebody is asking. The mix.
Did we add the white onions?
No, we didn't add the white onions because we don't have it here.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah, we can add onions to it. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, chop.
There was a question that was asked. So
Yes,
that
just
mix
1 second.
in the
Yeah,
bag,
so
do
the
you
person said
you showed what you would use to prepare to season color will it? Oh yes, yes. So the question that was asked, this was from Rosabelle. Yes, so that mixture, yes, I use that because that is already prepared for me. So I don't have to put this and that, it's already made. So yes, I use that. Yeah.
So that means it's the spices you have.
Yeah, that's the spices I have. You don't have the.
You want it blended?
Usually I'll blend. Usually I have the dry ones.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
I usually and then the other thing is if you want to use the fresh onion too, you can do that. But for me, onion is something that goes in my eyes and I start crying easily. So I usually add use the blended or the dried ones to my taste. Okay. We're still waiting if anybody has any more questions. Yeah, there's a question. Perhaps you can share that spice mix recipe as well. Oh, okay. Remind me after the whole thing and then I'll tell you the ones yes. What's inside my mixture, okay? All right. Oh, wow. Smells so good. And the thing is, the onion makes the difference. When you put the onion in it, you can really smell the aroma. And as you can, as I'm doing right here, my partner will tell you that she can even smell it. Okay. Any more questions? It does smell good. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, so she's following along.
Yeah, it does smells good. Yes, it is. And it actually add more flavor to it. Onion, you know what onion, you women know more than we do. Yes, onion adds the taste to everything and it just makes it different. Yes. Okay. All right, so now I think we'll be going to the frying.
So normally, so if because of time, right? So normally you would have done this, maybe cover it.
Yes.
And put it in the, let me get you a wrap to put that away. And because of time, I think we have, let me get,
You want to pass me that?
okay, so yeah.
I would prefer you use a container that has a lid and then afterwards you just cover it and then you just put it in the fridge. And then some people don't have to, you don't have to technically, but then if you really want the flavor to really come out, we recommend that you do that. But other people can just do it just as we have done and then just go ahead and fry it. Okay. So if everybody is with me, this is already prepared overnight and left. I'm not sure if we can show it. So this is already prepared overnight and you can really smell the aroma, okay? And so when you do it this way, then you can really have the taste of it instead of it being just around it, okay? All right, so if we can get our oil going. Okay, all right. So Okay. Is it the same size? Okay. Yeah, it's the same size. Okay. All right. So that's this one.
I just like
Yes.
to add as well that you can also use the air fryer, right? If you want like to not fry it on the stove, I could use the air fryer as an option.
Yeah, you can use the air fryer, but that is also a little bit of a challenge because when depending and then let me also say this, depending on the plantain you're using, if your plantain is very ripe, then you have a little bit of challenge using the air fry. But if you're using a plantain like what we used, and it can be like almost like the finger hand pick, that kind of thing, then you can use the air fry. I'm not sure if that answers your question.
Perfect, thanks.
Thank you. So at this point, we're just going to add oil. And then wait for it. It is very important at this point when you're frying to always make sure the oil is hot before you put in the plantain. If not, then it's gonna be stuck to the bottom, and we don't want that. And most of the time when people do it that way, then it end up burning because the bottom is gonna stick to it, and then you have to peel it off, okay? So whilst we are waiting, if anybody has any question, we just wait for our oil to be hot before we start.
Natasha has a question.
Yeah.
You say, is it deep fried or shallow?
You can do both ways. It doesn't have to.
I was just asking, like, how much oil? Like, is your pot like halfway full of oil or just low?
It's
How
just
much oil?
low. It's just
Okay.
low. It's not halfway. And also it depends on the amount of plantain or kalawele you want to fry. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna turn it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the amount of oil, but at least you should have it at least one, I would say 1/4 of it.
Okay, now I see your picture. I get an idea. Thanks.
Yeah. You don't need it submerged under. No, not necessarily that. But if you have an oil, plenty of oil, like some of us who always use the oil for frying plantain, then of course you can do that depending on, but it doesn't necessarily have to.
Thanks much.
Okay, you're welcome. Any more questions? So we're just waiting for our oil to heat up at this moment. So
Yes,
we just wait for the
question.
oil. Yeah.
So I would like to know, like, what can you eat with this kalawele? What kind of dishes? Like, really, is it snacks? Like, pretty much, what can you do? What can you eat it with?
So with that, you can eat it as a snack, mostly. What I do and I like mostly is as a snack, I just pick it, add some peanut to it, and then I eat it. Or I take it as a lunch and add some bean stew that I already make, and then just eat it with a fork. So it can be also as a lunch if you want it. And for me, it doesn't really, I can eat it anytime because I love plantain. So I eat it anytime. So that is one's choice of taste.
So it can actually be a snack. It can actually be a main meal.
Main meal, yeah.
And if it gets really sweet, it's like, so people eat it like a dessert. Depends if it's very, very sweet and soft. You know.
You know, you see those of us who buy these plantain chips. There are ones that are, it's actually kalawele, but because they've cut it in different kind of shape, they've made it as a chip, plantain chip, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So we have an example here. So this is a plantain chip actually, but it's a kalawele. It's a ripe plantain, that they've cut it and spiced it, and then they've packaged it after they've prepared it. So it's the same thing. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so we just want to test and see if our oil is, yeah, oh, I'm okay with oil. I just use my body temperature to see if it's hot. So we just add a few, and our oil is hot. So we reduce it a little bit, and then we add more to it. Put the pan. Okay. So another thing that I also want to, sorry, our fan is a little bit loud. Okay, this is too loud. Okay, that's okay. Our fan is loud, but I hope you can hear me. Another thing is when you don't have to let your oil be very, very hot. If it's very, very hot, just reduce the heat, because if not, then the color oil is going to cook prematurely. As you can see, the ones we put in the beginning is showing like it's already done, but it is not done. So all you need to do is just lower the heat intensity and let it boil gradually so that you can have a very nice cooked color willy. Okay. And then the other thing is when you're cooking this, because of the spices are strong. I recommend you close your rooms and open and then put the fan on, because if you don't, then it will all be in your room and it's difficult to get it out of your room. Yeah, very good with beans. Oh yeah, that is true. It sounds yummy with the beans. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, so those of you are already on frying, so this is how the frying goes. We just let it fry and then reduce, because we reduced our heat because it was too hot. Okay. So as you can see, I'm just stirring it just to make it evenly. And sometimes you can see some of them have formed. They form like a ball. So just try to separate them so that it all can cook evenly. You know, in my country, when you go to the capital city, food like these, they count it. Oh, yes, they count it. So they make sure that it doesn't become like this. They fry it like the plantain that we are actually spicing over there, so that they can count it and sell it.
So make it in such a way that you could actually know how many there.
Yep.
That's an interesting thing to
Yep.
know.
And it's very expensive.
Oh, plantain.
Mm-hmm.
I know plantains are very
It's
expensive.
very expensive.
Now in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know, it's like rare to find their seasons for it, right?
So as you can see, it is doing nicely, turning brown gradually. The ones that have turned brown is just premature. So we'll just let it stay in with the sides that have not, because those were the ones we put in initially to test the temperature of our oil. And you will see later, all of it will turn brown, and that is how you get to know that it is ready to come out. Okay.
So it's so good to have you come teach us. You know, most times it's women. It just looks as if cooking is only for women, but it's so good to have you, you know, come teach how to make. And that is also mentoring the boys and young men to know that it's not only women that cook, men also cook.
Oh, yes. For me, I was blessed, I would say it this way, because growing up, it was only my mom. So if you don't learn to do it, you are the one going to be hungry. So through that, I learned to do most of these, especially with things that are finger foods. I am easy good at it because those are easy to do. For me, my mom got to know I like plantain. So they especially, and we were blessed to have the cocoa farm. So plantain and all those cocoyam and all those things were not difficult to come by. Those were the things that helped us most. So she will actually try and grow a plantain, make it fully ripe so that when, and by the time I come home, they'll say, oh, they brought you a plantain. And I know that's my plantain. And there's a type of plantain, it's not these ones, they are short, it's just like half of this, and they are almost the same as banana, but they are actually plantain, and those are the ones I like most, and those are the ones she would make sure that it is really grown and harvested, and then they'll bring it to me. And those ones, when you put them down, if it's fully grown, leave it for 3 days and they are all right. Yeah, and that's how I got to know about doing all these things. So if you come to my house, some of these stuff, I'm actually the one that does them.
She said so. The wife said so that you have a unique way of making
yeah. And I mean, it's also a form of helping out you know. It's not only one person's way to do the work alone. Canada here, it's difficult to do things by one person, and unfortunately, from where we came from, our tradition doesn't help. But I mean, we have come to learn to grow. So let's incorporate this and support our wives so that they can also have a relief in certain areas. Okay, so as you can see, if you want to show our viewers, my plantain or my color willy is almost ready to come out. Like I said, you see now it's all turned brown and really smells good over here. I don't know about what you're doing, but what we are doing here smells so good. Okay, so we take them out gradually. And this is the time you have to be careful. If you leave it on for a little more minutes, it's all going to start to burn. Okay, not that you can eat it, you can eat it, but it won't be the fresh taste or the kind of taste you would want. Okay. Okay, so we'll add the next batch in it. All right. So this is our fresh calla willy. I'm not sure if you're seeing this.
Yeah,
Okay.
that looks yummy.
Okay. And if you have a beans to it, oh my God, that's a full meal right there. That's a full meal. Okay. All right. It looks delicious. Oh, it is. It is. I wish I can pass some to you guys various places, but unfortunately, the technology haven't reached there yet.
Yeah. So have to find out how many people that are following. Are you frying yours?
Uh-huh.
You know, then
We
you
just
tell
want
us
to know.
about,
Yeah.
the spice. Increase it, change it.
Oh, yeah. You just have to regulate it. See, with the beginning, it was too hot, so we had to bring the temperature down. But now it's kind of getting very slow. So I put it back to 7, and that can change depending on as it is cooking and it is finishing. You don't want it to burn. So it's the same way with our various way of cooking. Okay.
Somebody says interesting.
Man,
Yeah, so like your wife connected.
I can see that. Yeah.
So she said this is probably eaten with roasted peanuts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It can be served with a snack. Okay. Yeah. Main dish and side. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And like I said, it depends on how you want to be. It's just basically about that. For me, I take it as a snack. I even eat it as a lunch. I even eat it as supper. If you leave me, I'll eat banana whole. I'll eat cocoa all day. Oh, somebody's crying.
He's laughing.
Oh, I'm live on there too. I see. Awesome.
Yeah, so yes, it's going well. So that is cooking. So you want to tell us what's in your kelewele spice?
Oh, yes. Yes. Remind me. So, okay. So this one is basically the same thing. So we have the we have the pepper. Of course, the redness is coming from the hot spice, chili pepper. And then we have the cinnamon parts too in it. And then we have, this is the chili. We already talked about the chili. And as you can see, so more of the chili in it. And then we have the nutmeg, the fresh ones. I like the fresh ones because it adds more flavor to it, okay? And then the cloves. Yeah, the cloves, yeah, in it as well. And then are we missing something? Yes, the onions. So this one, we use the dried onions. We use the dried onions. So basically that is all that is in here to make up for it. Ginger, yes. Oh, sorry, I forgot that. So we add ginger to it. And then with the salt, is just normal salt. There's no salt in this one. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So I like it this way. In that case, you're just good to go. You're not adding this, adding that. You just take as you want it and then just sprinkle and then off you go. Yeah. And this is the season for plantains. Very soon we'll be in the winter and plantains are going to be, like ripe plantains are going to be scarce. So these are the times that I really enjoy my plantains. Yeah. Yeah, it's still cooking. So wait for it to finish. Yeah, any more cooking from anybody?
The killing with spice of the showing is blended up. Okay. Yes, so your wife is explaining.
Oh, okay.
It's a blended ingredient, so all ingredients blended together. Natasha says
Natasha is cooking. Okay.
saves time. It saves time to have the spices all ready. It saves time if you have all the spices ready.
Oh yeah, it does. It does save time. I mean, time is the essence in this part of this world. So
So 258. So yeah,
okay.
so
It does make sense now. Okay.
Natasha, what did you say?
I'm saying I just realized that my texture is a little bit different. And now that you have explained the spices, it would have made you blend it and everything because mine has like bits of the chili flakes on top. You understand? So
Okay.
yours are
We see your
infused.
picture.
Mine are like lying on my spices are like lying on top of my plantain.
Oh, okay. So can we see a picture of yours? Can you show us
Okay.
your camera on so that he's our expert. He's going to be telling us what we have done wrong here. So she's taking off the next set of Willy.
My first batch is done.
Okay, your first batch is done.
Okay, so this is our color wheel we have in hand. Okay. Okay. You're done? Okay.
Natasha, are you able to show us what you've got there?
For sure. Not sure if these are camera ready. Pardon me. Emmanuel, I may have messed up, but this is what I have, eh?
Just give 1 second, let me see.
One moment.
Okay. Whoa,
Okay.
that looks good.
Okay.
That looks good.
Thank
That
you.
looks good. That looks good. Sure, that sure looks good. That definitely looks really, really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. You've done it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You've done it.
Yes. That's
Next time,
awesome.
I'll definitely make sure I do the spices overnight to infuse it into the plantains.
That's
Yes,
right. That's
yes.
it. Actually makes the difference when
Yeah.
you do it overnight for the spices to infuse in it. So definitely yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And they're yummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
So
haven't tasted ours yet. You have done yours, eh?
I have to do a taste test before anybody else puts their hand here.
that is funny.
Okay, is there a question?
Yeah. So
Feel free to reach out
yes.
to me
To
in okay.
Accuse
Akuya's kitchen
Yeah.
for the
On
recipe
Instagram.
another Ghanaian. Oh, okay. All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
So that's Sandra reaching out. So anybody who have any question, that's her information there. You can reach out to her for all the recipe. If you're doing it and you're having difficulty or anything, just reach out. Yeah. If you do forget. Yeah. But I know nobody will forget because it's easy to make. Yes, it's easy to make.
Oh, okay, leave it on your counter for a couple hours. Okay, leave it on their counter like
Okay.
this for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So like this one now, just
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
If you want to leave it for a couple of hours, that's also fine. I mean, like I said, it's to your taste, not necessarily. If you really want to make the food right away, yes, you can go ahead. Just leave it for some couple of hours and then you can fry it. That's equally the same. So yeah. But if you want it to really infuse into it, then we recommend just do it overnight and then fry it the next day. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
Yes.
Okay. So without much ado, if I don't have any other questions, I would just pass you back to the host. Koko is made, and thank you so much. I have the opportunity to also do it with you. Thank you. Happy I did it. Thanks. You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
You're
So
a
thank you
natural.
very much.
He's a natural.
Sorry?
He's a natural. He has to be in the kitchen more often, eh?
Oh yes, yeah. we have to make every our children, both boy and girls, to know very well they all should be natural to the kitchen. You know, we are always making it look as if it's only the girls that should cook. So we're so happy that he came to tell us that men also cook and they do it very, very well. And so we say thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sandra, and thank you, Emmanuel, for making this happen for us today. And thank you, everyone that has connected from different parts of the world for today's event. I hope you will practice making kelewele, and you could share a picture with us, click on our page and share with us and say, I made it. And we'll be so happy to know that today's Culture Days event happened and you learned something about Ghana. Today, I decided to dress in my kente. This is a kind of Ghana kente. I decided to dress in, to make sure that I represent Ghana very well. So thank you on behalf of the African and African Descendants Friendship Club of St. Albert's. We say thank you for coming to today's event and participating. And we hope you will participate in other Culture Days events. Tomorrow, we're going to be having a dance. Yay! Yes, it's going to be online, and we will have Mazani teaching us how to dance Caribbean and African moves blended together. It's an exercise. It's something you will love, and I hope you will make time and join us. And so we say thank you, and we're going to be ending this particular Alberta Culture Days event, and enjoy your kelewele when you make it. Have a good afternoon or evening wherever you're connecting from. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.